What's up, everyone? I'm your spiritual gardener, here to plant seeds of consciousness in your garden. It's just your job to water them. And we have had some intense energy today, as well as the buildup for this full moon eclipse that we just had. So, a full moon eclipse is very special because, a full moon in itself is already very special. It's a lot about closing doors, closing chapters. And a full moon eclipse is like a full moon on steroids. So, I'm not surprised if anyone has had a little bit of lack of sleep. I know I definitely have. This energy is very intense and it's all in Gemini. And this is where we've had the North Node for quite some time here, since I believe May. And the North Node really represents the direction that we're supposed to be heading in as a collective. And as a collective, Gemini represents, learning. It represents gathering information. It's a lot like the student, okay? And this is the direction that we are heading all the way until January of 2022. So it stays for about 18 months every time the North Node and South Node switch. And, the North Node is our compass. It's our compass that is directing us in the way that we're supposed to be going as a collective. And as a collective, right now, we are, if you cannot tell, all kind of trying to gather information, gather the facts, figure out what the heck is going on in the world. The world's been pretty crazy for this last year. And, we've had a lot of really harsh planets in Capricorn, and that's where it is the most difficult to have these planets, because Capricorn represents the 10th house, which is all about public appearance. The 10th house also rules governments. The 10th house is, we've seen a lot of this energy focused in these areas, and with a lot of planets that aren't so nice. We've had Saturn in Capricorn. Mind you, it does belong in Capricorn, but Saturn is all about restrictions. And we've had plenty of restrictions going on this year. Along with Pluto. Pluto brings death and rebirth to things. So we've seen a lot of crazy changes within our collective and our whole. A lot of things are changing, and to a point to where, we're not really going to see the past as it was anymore. The past is now the past, and we're moving forward with new energy that is changing all of our lives forever. That's just 100%. So, we've also got the South Node that has been in Sagittarius. And South Node in Sagittarius is the guru. It's the teacher. It's the opposite of what Gemini is, okay? So Gemini is the student. It gathers all the information. And Sagittarius is the teacher. It's the one that has all the information. But the thing here is the South Node is in Sagittarius. So the South Node represents things that we're wanting to get away from, things that we are kind of trying to put a halt to. And, Sagittarius representing teaching and kind of the know-it-all in a sense. It's really wanting us to learn and gather information and not just go with what we already know. This is really, really asking us to dig deep and understand things from a different perspective. And having this full moon in Gemini, it was pretty intense. I have my moon in Gemini naturally, so I thought maybe this will be kind of a stroll through the park, but no, it hasn't been by any means. So it's really highlighting these factors of what we need to do in order to gain more information to help ourselves move forward. And, the beautiful thing about this eclipse, though, was we do have the sun and the moon, because anytime we have a full moon, we've got the sun opposite of the moon, 180 degrees opposite. So it's kind of like a tug of war. And, the sun is our soul essence. The moon represents our emotions. So there's been this kind of tug of war between our soul, ourself, and our emotions. But the good thing about this is we've had a beautiful aspect over to Chiron. And Chiron is, not too many astrologers talk about it, but Chiron is an asteroid that represents the wounded healer. So it brings about a lot of our wounds. And, having a nice aspect here it's helping us kind of really put a highlight and an understanding on where our wounds are holding, where things need to change, because full moon, especially full moon eclipses, represent closing the door, locking that door, and leaving the key, throwing the key away. So literally moving into a completely new chapter where we're leaving things behind. And this has a lot to do with our inner woundedness. And, you know, it's called the wounded healer for a reason. We do have these wounds, but we are able to heal through them. It doesn't mean we're not going to have a scar there. There's, you know, there still may be a scar from having to leave things behind, but it's definitely in our best interest right now, especially with a full moon eclipse. These are things that are needing to close. The chapter has to close to move forward, especially moving forward into this this next eclipse that we have on the 14th of December, which is ironically 7 days away from the big Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, December 21st. That one I'll get into later, but it's going to be very heavy. It's going to be right on the north and south node. And I mean, if the image cannot get any clearer at that point, we really have to take this time now to make the moves that we need to in order to heal ourselves, to progress forward with the crazy energy that we're about to go through, because this is not for the weak, not at all. Another beautiful aspect that we had during this eclipse is we had Mercury, which rules our thoughts and our communication, which is the ruler of Gemini, making a beautiful aspect over to all the mean planets. So it's been making a nice sextile over to Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. So this is, it's really been a time for us to kind of organize our mind, organize our thoughts. It's allowing us to bring about new perspectives with things and better judgment. So, you know, that's what happens when Mercury makes a nice aspect to these mean planets, is it's really kind of letting us see things from a new perspective. Now, the hard thing about all of this is we just had Neptune come out of its retrograde period, and Neptune goes retrograde for a long time. It was 5 months of being in retrograde, pretty much through the entirety of our quarantine experience that we had. It went a retrograde in May. And, you know, Neptune represents our dreams. It's the highest connection we have to spirit, the absolute highest connection we have to spirit. And being retrograde, you know, it embodies the exact opposite. So it embodies a lot of things like addictions. It embodies a lot of energy that kind of makes us mope around and kind of, you know, woe is me, and just kind of feel bad for ourselves. But it also makes us very delusional to facts. And we've seen a lot of that going on in the world, you know, whether, you know, everybody has their own opinion right now, which is very South Node in Sagittarius. Everyone thinks that they know exactly what's going on when really we don't. No one is going to fully understand this year's energy until March of 2021. And that's because Neptune will finally be off of making its hard aspect, its hard square over to the north and south node. So we've had a square this whole time with Neptune to the north and south node, which has made it even harder for us to understand the direction that we're supposed to go in. So that's why we have a lot of people that are just kind of stuck in their mindset, not really wanting to take on new perspectives, to try to understand new ways of being, to try to gather all the facts like Gemini North Node is supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be the student right now. We're supposed to be gathering the information, gathering the facts. We're not supposed to just know. No one knows right now. No one knows what's going on. So, you know, this South Node Sag energy with Neptune makes it even harder, because we don't really understand that we're doing this. It's a lot like, you know, now that Neptune is back direct, and it moves very, very slowly. So like I said, this energy is not going to lift until March of 2021. But, you know, now that it is moving forward, we are going to be able to see things a little bit more clearly for what they are and what's really going on. And, you know, the main thing here right now is really trusting your instincts and trusting your gut, because, you know, Mercury in Gemini is the messenger of the gods. Okay. And it's like they say, don't shoot the messenger. The messenger is just there to give you the message. That's it. Don't shoot the messenger. They're just here to pass it on. So, you know, we need to really realize that. And with Neptune now being direct, you know, we need to trust our instincts. We need to really trust our intuition, because all of that energy is coming back to us now. And it's very foggy. It's very foggy. Everything is very foggy with which direction we're going in, with what's going on in the world. But trusting your intuition and really going within is going to be the best thing that's going to save you right now. So, you know, it's a lot like going through very heavy fog, and you don't know what's in front of you. You can't see anything because the fog's so thick. And, you know, that's just the case right now. And it's going to be that way, like I said, until March. But a lot of this is really with going with your instincts, going with your intuition, really trusting your gut. And, you know, the most important thing, like I said, is to really be able to gather the facts, to not just dismiss things and stay in one way of thinking. Because with Mercury now making beautiful aspects to all the main planets, it's gifting us this ability to really see through the fog. You know, it's really gifting us this ability, and it's allowing us to change our perspectives. And, you know, if we're wanting to kind of stay in that way of like, no, my way is the best way, and nope, I'm not listening, I'm not this, you know, that's living in South Node Sagittarius energy, you know. So it's a lot like the school teacher that, you know, you got the answer right to, you know, you did the problem right, but they are too stubborn to give you credibility because they're the teacher, right? They know everything. So they're not really willing to give you that credibility. So right now with this eclipse, we did have a good peek through moment, which is still going on, where we are able to see things from a new perspective. And it really does take letting your guard down and not trying to, you know, think that you know everything, because no one knows everything right now. No one knows everything. That's the bottom line. But the big thing is stepping in and understanding new perspectives of things, really trying to gather all the facts. That's what Gemini does. And, you know, we had the moon and sun, like I said, made a beautiful aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer. So we are really seeing things that we within ourselves need to close the door to. There are many things within ourselves. We each have our own individual issues. It could be addictions. It could be, you know, a relationship. It could be numerous things, depending on your chart, obviously. But there is a collective energy right now where a door needs to be shut. And we know this door needs to be shut. We keep banging our toe on it every time we open it. You know what I mean? So it's a big closing chapter, big closing chapter. And this is just the build up to the next eclipse. This next one that we have on December 14th is going to be major. It's going to literally rub your face into the dirt that you're not willing to give up if you're not willing to start putting in the work now. So this is a good opportunity to take any of those insights that your intuition's telling you that, you know, this, I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I need to stop doing this, or I need to start doing this. You know, these are things that you need to listen to with your instincts, because Neptune is forward now. It hasn't made any progress. It moves very slow, but it's no longer in retrograde. So we are getting this information in a lot clearer, as well as Mercury, the ruler of our mind, our thoughts, and our communication, is making beautiful aspects over to all this crazy energy that's been causing us chaos all year. So this is a big point for us to trust ourselves, go within, and really embrace the change. I mean, like they say, no rain, no rainbows, so cliche, but really, no rain, no rainbows. You have to close the door in order for you to make any progress. You know, it's like there's a big goblin outside of that door. You want to nail that thing up, lock the key, like you don't want to go back there. You don't want to go back there, because it's not going to be good moving forward through this energy. We have the craziest, most intense energy that we have had since the 1200s approaching us. I mean, even mainstream TV is talking about this, about the alignment that we have coming up here on December 21st. And the irony with all of this is, you know, with the Mayan astrology, they talked about 2012 being the end of the world on December 21st. I'm not trying to say this is the end of the world, but it is the end to a lot of the world of how we knew it before. And the interesting thing too is the Gregorian calendar, we're 8 years behind in time. So that 2012 prediction, because our calendar is 8 years behind in time, 2012 plus 8 is 2020. This is the year. This is the year our consciousness is going to shift. This is the year that we're never going to see things the same. Everything is moving forward in a different direction. And people that are, you know, empaths, people that are really being able to feel this energy and really trying to help other people and trying to wake other people up, we're going to be the new 1%. This is going to be the new 1%. The light, one little flicker of light will outshine the darkest of caves, no matter where you are. One little flicker will outshine the darkest of caves. And we're seeing a lot of darkness, and we've been seeing a lot of darkness. But now, even people that maybe weren't so much, you know, believing of this energy are really starting to see through the veil now. It's really starting to become clear to everybody that stuff isn't as we, you know, it's not as we thought it's been this entire time, our entire existence. So, you know, this full moon eclipse was huge. If you've been feeling restless, that's Gemini energy. I've got a Gemini moon. I am constantly restless and, you know, constantly with information kind of coming in. And, you know, right now you really need to analyze those thoughts, analyze the things that are no longer serving you, and close that door. This is a big, big, big full moon eclipse that is telling you to close that door forever and don't ever look back, because there's a goblin outside, and why would you? You know what I mean? So I hope that you guys are all doing good. I wanted to make this short and sweet, but, you know, don't feel discouraged if your energy is kind of all over the place. If you feel very restless, this can bring up argumentative energy, but a lot of it, like I said, has to do with our own woundedness because of the Chiron aspect here. So these are things that we need to do away with that are no longer serving us. They're not doing us any good anyway. So this is a big time to close that chapter. That chapter's done. We need to progress and move forward. We still have Mars and Aries. So the best way to get through this energy right now is literally through physical outlets. I went snowboarding today. I was in a horrible mood this morning, and afterwards I'm like on top of the world. So anything physical is really going to help you. It is mind, body, soul. I mean, you have to have all three. You can be as spiritual as you want all day and all night. If you're not connected with your mind, if you're not connected with your body, then that's like a Libra scale tipped off of its scales. It's just not going to work out. So this is really trying to give us that oomph to move forward, because we have one more eclipse on the 14th, and then we have the big conjunction on December 21st. And I'm going to be making videos for each of those. But I just wanted to let you guys know, if you're feeling off, if you're feeling kind of crazy, that is the energy. The moon is shifting into Cancer tonight, so we will start to feel a lot more emotional. We'll start to want to bring ourselves back home emotionally and within our bodies too, within all three aspects, mind, body, soul. So as soon as that moon moves into Cancer here pretty soon, it's time to come back home in all aspects. So I love you all. I just wanted to shout out my shirt on here by my girl Cosmic Drugs. You should go check out her merch. Look at this. Astrology is the coding to the universe. It's even got the matrix little like symbolism in the universe word there. So she's got some awesome merch. She's also a great astrologer. Go check out her page. I'll tag her here at the bottom. And one more thing I want to do, we'll do a card pull. Okay. So this is a beautiful new deck I just got from my gypsy love. I'm going to tag her too, because I love her. So she gifted me this awesome deck of cards. And I just want to pull a card for the collective here, so we can see what message the universe has for us. So I just want to pull a card, universe, let us know what we need to do to move forward with this energy to better serve us for this buildup that we have coming here at the end of December. Feeling wanting to jump out everywhere. Alrighty. Check it out. Perseverance. They have cool, trippy little images here. So it says perseverance. Perseverance requires determination in the face of a challenge. We can think of the honey badger as a fierce representative of this quality. They will ruthlessly invade a beehive, endure all the stings just to eat all of the honey out of the combs. Continuing in the face of adversity will ensure the honey. Can't sum it up any better than that. This is not going to be easy energy to go through. It's not easy shutting doors. But just like the honey badger, you're going to maybe get a few stings on the way. It's not going to be easy. But you'll get the honey. You'll get the honey, baby. I love you all. I'm sending out my best. And I will see you guys here soon.